Hello and welcome to the weekly Cars.co.za news. I'm David Taylor, and in this week's episode, the facelifted GR Yaris, we have pricing, BYD Seagull, that could be SA's cheapest EV, and there's a big new German sedan. Let's go.
Are you looking for a bakkie? Cars.co.za.
Die in de sneak nie.
Cars.co.za. You looking for a transie? Cars.co.za. This one is so fancy. Cars.co.za. Mini bus or just a mini, a couche or a G-string, that's a E463 series. All you got to do is type Cars.co.za, Cars.co.za, Cars.co.za. Let's find what moves you. Cars.co.za, Cars.co.za.
The feisty GR Yaris, it's on its way to South Africa, and this is the facelift version. It should be touching down in Toyota showrooms very soon. And as a reminder, this thing is sensational. Sure, it was a little compromised in terms of space and packaging, and that interior was a little so-so, not exactly cutting edge, but there was no doubt it was an absolute joy to drive quickly, which is exactly what it was engineered to do. As you can see, the facelift version, they haven't really touched on aesthetics. I mean, there's a little tweak to the headlight, the taillight, and the grille, but the real change is under the skin. The big news, there's more power and there's an 8-speed automatic transmission. As a reminder, before, 198 kilowatts, 360 newton meters from that 1.6 3-cylinder turbo petrol. Now it's been cranked up to 210 kilowatts and 400 newton meters. And as a reminder, this thing is all-wheel drive, like a proper rally car. Sure, everyone loves more power and more performance, but I feel the biggest enhancement here is the introduction of the 8-speed automatic gearbox. Yes, the purists will be delighted to see a manual gearbox will be offered, but we know how this story goes. Take, for example, the Golf GTI. That was offered back in the day in both DSG dual clutch and manual. And how many people bought the manual? Not many. Everyone loved the DSG because it was faster and it was easier to drive on a day-to-day basis. And I predict the GR Yaris will follow a similar sales trajectory. In terms of straight-line performance, Toyota South Africa is yet to confirm a 0 to 100 time, but for what it's worth, the pre-facelift manual managed around 5.5 seconds to 100. Interestingly, in Europe, the facelifted auto version claims 0 to 100 in 5.2 seconds, but it's important to note that this model has a detuned power plant. That's only got 206 kilowatts. I reckon in South Africa, the facelifted GR Yaris, we're going to get 4.9 seconds, and this is something I'm going to test when the car arrives. Other interesting changes for the GR Yaris, they've lowered the driving position, which is one of my biggest criticisms. I always felt you sat on top of the car as opposed to in it, like a proper race car, like a low-slung sports car. And then they've adjusted the driver's control panel, that's your instrument cluster. They've turned that a little bit towards the driver. Interesting, I don't think it needed it, but these are tiny little incremental changes. So, how much for this little rocket? Pricing is on your screen right now, thanks to my talented editor. That's 897 grand for the manual. Auto retails for 925 grand. In comparison to the pre-facelift car, that's a 40,000 rand increase. So you're getting more power, enhanced interior, plus some styling changes. I don't think that's a bad deal. On to the next story, and BYD is preparing to introduce this. It's the cute-looking Seagull City EV to the SA car market. What is it with BYD names? They're all so cute. We've got Dolphin, seal, shark. You can see the theme here. It's all animals. So how do we know the BYD Seagull is coming? Well, the trademark was registered early this year. And what was really impressive and interesting was the car was called the Dolphin Mini in its home market. And we would like to bet that Mini South Africa was like, there's no chance you're calling your car, your small city car that is, a Mini. That belongs to us. So now it's called the Seagull. So what exactly are you getting? In terms of size, the Seagull is about the same size as a Hyundai Exter. Battery pack is 39 kilowatts and performance 55 kilowatts and 135 newton meters. Now before you go, oh, that's pathetic, think about where this car will be positioned. To drive the commute in traffic, you don't need much power and it's going to be pretty efficient. So I think this is a good idea. Pricing is yet to be confirmed, but for what it's worth, the BYD Dolphin, which is its current cheapest car, that comes in at around 500,000. So I predict this thing should be coming in at about 400,000 rand. And I think this is great. We need more small city EVs for the commute. And then you can have something nice, big, fast, petrol and diesel for the weekends and those road trips. Finally, in our last story for the week, the world is obsessed with SUVs. So when a new sedan is revealed, I tend to sit up and take notice.
Here I come.
After all, when it comes to driving dynamics and refinement, a sedan is unmatched in comparison to an SUV. Take my advice, drive a 5 Series diesel or a Merc E-Class diesel and you'll know what I mean. Those cars are Fabulous. And that brings me to this, the brand new Audi A6, which has just been revealed. Visually, it adopts a similar style to the Audi A5, the one that I drove in Europe last year, and Audi is claiming this is its most aerodynamic sedan yet. In terms of powertrain, old school is cool, and Audi has gone with both petrol and diesel options. The range kicks off with a 2-litre turbo petrol. There's also a 2-litre turbo diesel. Both of those 4 cylinders are offered with mild hybrid technology. But for those who insist on no replacement for displacement, you can get a banging petrol 3-litre V6 turbo. 270 kilowatts, 550 newton meters. And that's not even an S or an RS model. This is just a standard A6. Lovely. The new Audi A6 that rides on the same platform as the A5, that's the premium platform combustion, and it's the interior which I find most impressive. But let's be honest, Audi always makes some really classy high-tech interiors. Yes, there is a caveat, it looks very high-tech, but some of the things look a bit gimmicky. I mean, passenger screens, I'm never going to get the point of that. Do you agree? Things have escalated quite quickly. Production is moving along very nicely. It's already begun. And while we haven't had official comment from Audi South Africa, I reckon we're going to see this premium sedan in our market before the end of 2025. And that's this week's news in the bag. As always, I will put links in the description about the vehicles you've seen here today. And remember, Cars.co.za is a great resource for buying and selling a vehicle and reading the latest and most informative car news and reviews. Right now, we have over 73,000 vehicles for sale. Usually at this point, I will go, okay, I'll see you next week. But you won't, because by the time you watch this, I will be on the way to China, and I look forward to bringing you all the latest news from Shanghai Motor Show.
Let's find what moves you. Cars.co.za.